Hello and welcome to the channel for part 2 of bringing back to life Barney, the Barnfind CT110. I've given the bike a bath with rust converter, and as you can see it's covered in all the white powder now, so the rust converter is doing its job. But what about that nasty engine noise, the clicking, ticking sound? Let's have a closer look. I was disheartened when I heard the clicking sound. I didn't really know whether to keep on kicking the bike or whether that would do more damage. But after a few kicks, the noise has gone. And what I think it was, or what I think there's a chance it was, is the ratchet in the kickstarter mechanism catching. Other than that, it seems fine. And while I've done that, guess what? It's got a spark. So one thing we don't have though is good clean fuel. And the slide is stuck in the carburetor. The throttle is solid. I've tried all kinds of ways to unseize it. It's not the cable, it's the slide in the carburetor. Obviously this carburetor looks like it's going to need a good clean. And I'll try and take the hoses off, the fuel lines off. As you remember, the ones with the ridges is the one on the right side of the tank, and that is the reserve line. I'm going to pull the fuel tank off, the gas tank off anyway. Look at the colour of that. Just pure varnish. So I'm going to take the I'll take the gas tank off anyway, give it a clean, and I'll just use a temporary small container to run some fuel through to the engine. Who knows, we may even get the bike to start in a little bit later. The quickest way to remove the carburetor is simply to pull the bolts out of the inlet manifold, out of the inlet there. But if you look on here, this is slightly higher. There's a trick there that can catch people out. If you put this insulator in upside down, you can block off quite an area of the port, quite an area of the carb. So let's see if that's what's happened here. Well, Priscilla, I don't know if you saw the photograph, Priscilla's raised 13 ducklings, and if you can hear the kookaburras are eyeing them off in the background, they would make a nice snack for a kookaburra, so fingers crossed all goes well for Priscilla. I've just got to try and now remove this slide. So I'll try and remember which way that insulator was facing, and let's have a look. As you can see, be careful with that. As you can see the hole is not aligned, the insulator was upside down. I've soaked the carb in diesel. Not because I thought that was some miracle cure, it's simply what I had on hand, and I've got the slide to move slightly, and let's pull it out. And there we can see, that. See where the fuel's turned to varnish and glued the slide in position. Hopefully that'll clean up and I'll be able to reuse that. I've tried to get this to be in focus closer, but it won't have it. And if you can see there, look, totally clogged with varnish. So the chances are that the internal galleries will be totally blocked with this carburetor. So this is going to need a really good clean. I've got a cheap clone carburetor that I can put on just for today, just to see if we can get a start out of the bike. Well, it's not pretty, but it's effective. I've got an old lawnmower petrol tank, gas tank, and I've used the really cheap and nasty carburetor. Maybe it'll work, I'm not sure, just while we're waiting for the OEM carb to be cleaned. So I'll turn the bike around. Let's see if Barney will start for the first time in who knows how long. So the engine is stone cold. I haven't tried to start it. This will be the first kick. Choke's on, ignition's on. Let's see if Barney will work. I'll be amazed if he does. Wow! Second kick. That's amazing. Running. It's smoky. Maybe that's the oil I put in the cylinder. You get that noise, the induction noise, there's no airbox on it. How amazing is that? Barney, the barn find on the pasty. Someone else suggested that pasty, a postie with an ag engine. He's a runner. Let's get the tyres fitted and have a ride around my garden on him. A little bit of smoke though. I'm amazed. It's impossible. You can't do a will it run video with a Honda. Of course it will run. It's a Honda. And look at this. Barney even has a headlight. So how incredible is that? After years and years abandoned in a barn, covered in rust, 2 or 3 kicks, and Barney's a runner. That's just amazing. Not only does he run, he idles, sounds really good. There's no timing chain rattle, no tappet noise. So now that we've proved the engine runs, we can fix all the other problems on Barney and hopefully get him back on the road, on the trails, where he belongs. If you get some value out of these videos, consider subscribing, it's free. Support the channel and get advance notice of any future videos. Good one, Barney.